Hey guys, welcome back. This week's video is all about metals. I have several pieces. This cake, what do you call it? Cake server, cake carrier. It's for cake. And I also have a couple of silver plate items that just would not sell for me. So we're going to upcycle metal this week. So if that sounds good to you guys, please stick around. Okay, so for project number 1, we're going to be doing this cake carrier. Now, I am not going to paint the bottom at all because I want it to still be usable. I'm only going to paint the top. So we're just going to put the bottom aside. And I have already cleaned this. Now, I would like to remove the handle, but as you could see, that's pretty rusty on there. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it off. Okay, so for project number 1, we're going to be doing this cake carrier. Now, I am not going to paint the bottom at all because I want it to still be usable. I'm only going to paint the top. So we're just going to put the bottom aside. And I have already cleaned this. Now, I would like to remove the handle, but as you could see, that's pretty rusty on there. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it off. Now, the color I've chosen is DIY's. I love this color. Oh, darn it. What is the color? I think it's petticoat pink. That's what I thought. Petticoat pink. Sorry. So, I'm not even going to bother putting a primer on this. Now, this is just regular old chalk paint. It does not have a sealer or a primer. But chalk paint basically covers anything. So we're going to give it a shot without putting any primer on it. So I know it's going to take a couple coats, but yes, I love this pink. It is so, so pretty. I'm using what's on the lid first. Waste not, want not. I chose this color because these cake carriers are so mid-century modern to me. And of course, mid-century was turquoises and pinks and atomic, you know. So this is why I chose this color, but also because I'm going to be adding some transfers to this, and I think they're going to go really well with this color. So I'm going to get this painted, guys, and then we're going to come back and continue. All right, guys, as you can see, I have a lot of brush strokes because my paint was too thick. So I watered down my paint, and for my third coat, I am using my sponge dauber, and I am dabbing my paint on to cover up those brush strokes. Okay, I put my 3 coats of paint on here. and it's dry, and I am going to use the transfer book Saint Germain by IOD. I have several transfers left in this book that I would like to use up. So we're going to see what I can come up with out of this book. Okay, so I decided to cut it off, and then I can continue it on up the lid. So first I'm going to put this down. Okay, get my transfer tool, pardon my arm. So what I'll do is I'll connect this other part of this sheet up here once I get this part transferred on. I think it's easier to do it that way in sections. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so now this, I'm gonna figure out how I gotta do that. Now, it's not gonna be perfect, guys. I mean, I'm doing the best I can, but, you know, I'm gonna have to line everything up, but I just want to see where I'm gonna cut it off at, and I think I'm gonna cut it on this line right here. Okay, now, this is going to be the tough part. Okay, so here, I'm going to put this back on and attach it here. like it's supposed to be. And finish rubbing that on. And then I'm just going to add bits and pieces. I may even do a little bit of layering. But yeah, this is going to look amazing. Oh, I'm excited about this piece. Okay, the next thing I did is I looked at my transfers, and here where I left off with this little pink stem, I went from there and I measured, right? And then I cut off to go around the handle so that I could add on. So now I'm just going to peel my backing sheet off. I'm going to line this up here and lay it down. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. All right, transfers are all on. And boy, am I loving this project. Now we need to seal in our chalk paint and our transfers. And for that, I'm using my Deco Art Ultra Matte Clear Finish. Oh, I'm loving this project. Have any of you ever redone one of these cake keepers? This is the first one I've done. I've seen a couple other YouTubers do them. And I was like, I have one of those. I need to do it. All right, this is going to be our next project. This is a beautiful teapot. It is silver plate, but you could see there's a lot of issues with it. It's not in the best shape. It's got blackness on there, and I know that that's tarnish. A lot of people don't want to be bothered bringing it back to its natural glory, and I couldn't sell it. So I'm going to make it over. I am going to paint only the body of this teapot. And I have put a coat of Mod Podge, matte Mod Podge, on the body of this teapot. And I am going to paint it black. And the reason I'm painting it black is because the transfers that I want to use on here look amazing on black. So I think I'm going to start with the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I am going to take this angled paintbrush, and I'm going to paint all around the legs and get that out of the way. And I also have to go like in between there, which is, I'm going to have to get an even smaller brush to do that. To try to get in between. There's a hole like where the leg meets the, see that? I got to get in there. I don't know if I could do it with this brush. I might be able to. Yeah, I guess so. I did it. So this is going to take a little bit of time to go around these areas here. Once I paint around the legs and the spout, I'll come back. All right, friends, our paint is dry, and now I am going to try to use up some of my transfers from this IOD booklet, Lost Garden, and this was one of my favorites. And I have several pieces left in here that I would like to use up on this teapot. So I was thinking I could be simple and just add one of these on each side. All right, what I decided to do is I am going to put these on, one on each side, and then I can always add on some of the viney things onto these main pieces. So that is what I'm going to do. I want it, which way do I want this way? I want it to go that way. So let's see. Boy, I hope I got it straight. I'm going to start from the middle and I'm going to work my way outward. All right, so I've put the transfers on each side, and I'm looking through all these like scraps, and I'm trying to figure out what viney things I can add to this. So I'm trying to decide, like I could add this, but then that's going to be too much. But I was thinking maybe I could add, I need something that's going to go with, I don't know, guys. All right, guess what? After looking through all of my scraps, I decided that none of them actually go with these florals. So I'm just going to leave this just the way it is and just seal everything in. I'm using the same sealer that I used on my cake carrier. Okay, guys, I had a change in plans. I don't like the plainness of up here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to mold 2 of these, and I'm going to put them around the neck of the teapot. I think I got these from Temu. I'm not positive. It's been quite a while now. If I can find where I got them, I'll link it below. So I'm just going to I'm going to use air dry clay because yeah, resin that I have is a 24-hour resin or 12-hour resin. So I'm just going to go with the air dry clay. I'm going to dust my mold with cornstarch. I don't know why I'm dusting the inside of those circles. I don't need to do that. I used this mold on a flower pot one time, and it just came out amazing. All right. Get some clay here. Yep, that was bothering me, and I'm like, nope, I have to do something. So this is what I came up with. And then I realized that my flower on this one is not centered with the lid, but it is on this side. So keep that in mind. Make sure that you have everything centered. Yeah, I don't know. This is, I probably didn't even have to add the cornstarch into this particular mold, but because it's like popping out. All right, I'm going to put some glue on here. Spread it out with a paintbrush. All right. Now, it is, I had to take it, I should say unconnect it so that it will lay the right way. Take this piece off. There. All right, I got my molds on, and now what I'm going to do is paint them black while they're wet so that I don't have a whole lot of cracking. And I had already sealed my paint before, so I think anything that gets on there I'll be able to wipe off. As far as like from the clay, I should be able to wipe that right off. I am using a very soft brush. I'm talking low because my son is in the next room taking a nap. He was out plowing for several hours, so I'm trying not to wake him up. Yes, so I'm being very careful because I don't want to distort my details. All right, our molds are nice and dry, and I am going to add some silver rub and buff. This is Silver Leaf, and I'm just going to gently, lightly go over the raised areas with the silver rub and buff. Then once I finish with the rub and buff, I will come back and reseal this top half of the teapot where I had to paint my molds. I knew that was going to happen. And I think this will just add that extra something that it needed up on this neck of the teapot. I just think it really, really dressed it up. You can get all different colors of rub and buff on Amazon. There is a link in my description box for it. Oh yeah, that really looks fantastic. All right, we are on our final project, project number 3. And again, I have this beautiful silver plate tray. And I'm going to turn this into some St. Patrick's Day decor. So I wiped it down really well. And this time, I'm not going to put any Mod Podge or anything on it. I'm going to see how well it covers without. I'm going to use DIY paint in the color Queen Bee. I was going to say Honey Bee. Queen Bee. And if I could get the lid open, we'll be good to go. Okay, I am only going to paint the center of this tray. Not going to do the sides or the rim. Try to be careful not to get it up on the rest of the tray. Make sure I'm smoothing out my paint as I go. This is a quick project. I'm going to put probably 3 coats on here. All right, we are 3 coats in on here, and I was cleaning off the, because I sealed this, because this is chalk paint and it needs to be sealed. So I sealed it, and then I was cleaning the sealer off around the edges, and I ended up taking a little bit of the paint off, but I kind of like that little bit of distressing, so I'm not going to bother to touch that up. Now, I have some adorable St. Patrick's Day transfers. And I got these from Essential Stencil. And I'm going to be using this little house. And we'll see what else. But for now, I know I'm definitely going to put the house on. So let me cut this off of here. Okay, so if I put it over a little bit, I could put something else next to it, like this barrel of shamrocks or the gold coins. Or look, we've got the pot of gold that I can put there. I could put some more little shamrocks. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just put it in the center and put a few things, like maybe a few shamrocks around it. I think maybe that's what I'll do. Just keep it simple. All right. You've all seen me do transfers, so I'm just gonna fast forward. Not fast forward, but speed it up. Okay, so let me just say, this is the next day. And what happened was I started to do my transfers and it started to pull up the paint. So I stopped and I put it down. And I'm hoping that if it continues to pull up, maybe I can fix it. You can see it's pulling up the transfer here. And the paint. So I didn't wait long enough for everything to dry. Sometimes, I mean, if you don't have a lot that's coming up, You can scrape it off of the backer sheet with a razor. But yeah, there's just too much damage here for this. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Well, you know, so let me show you what I'm talking about here. I'm going to take my straight edge razor and I'm going to try to go underneath and scrape this off in like one piece. And then I might be able to attach it, but I don't think it's going to work. This is not wanting to come up. Okay, this piece I got, which goes over here, I think. Where does it go? Here? I think it goes there. So I might be able to put that on with glue stick. This one is giving me a hard time. Okay, this goes over here. All right, I might be able to salvage this, guys. I might. I'm gonna do a piece at a time and see if I can fix this. Grab my tweezers here. Okay, that's not too bad. All right, guys, I did the best I could. It does not look bad. So I did salvage this piece. Woohoo! 1 for me, 0 for the screw up. All right, now I have to decide what else I want to put on here, and I sure hope I don't have any more issues. So I know I want to put some single shamrocks here and there. So I'm going to start with this one. And I think I'll put it, where do I want to put it? Over here. I sure hope I don't have an issue. I shouldn't, but who knows? Yay! No problems. All right, this piece gave me a run for my money. I'm just going to touch up a couple spots here where the paint came up. And then once I do that and it dries, I can seal everything in. And for that, I'm just going to use, I think I'll just use wax. And then I'm going to go around the inner rim here. Once I wipe back the wax, I'm going to go around the inner rim with some decrepit dust to add a little bit of age. Now, of course, if you don't like that, you definitely could leave that that out. All right, time for some wax. I'm just gonna put it on with my shop towel. It's got different colors here, but that's where I had to touch up. So, but hey, at least I didn't have to scrap the whole piece. So now I'm just gonna take some decrepit dust. I'm gonna go around this inner rim. Maybe I could use some shading. Maybe not. That way it'll kind of blend in better.